Back. Now, as a South African consumer, you may have already had experience with a significant increase in scams. What's concerning, though, is how well targeted these scams are. They often contain detailed information about the potential victim. But one theory is that this is rather related to data breaches at credit bureaus in recent years. Now, personal finance expert Mai Fisher-Frame joins us now, but today in studio. And Gareth and I are so excited that we could have you in studio, Mai. Good morning.
Good morning. It's wonderful to be in studio.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for coming through. Let's talk about this. I mean, we're seeing an increase in scams. Two questions. Why is this so, and what are the authorities actually doing about this?
So there is this theory that, I don't know if you remember, but there were two very big data breaches of credit bureaus. We had Experian, there was TransUnion and Experian. And that data that people got was our names, our contact numbers, our credit scores, all of that. And we've now, in talking about the authorities, the information regulator actually sent out a press release recently saying that they have found people actually selling this information. They're selling this information, what's scary is it's not just to scamsters, but it's also to direct marketers, to people looking for leads. So our personal information and everything about us is out there. And that is making it so much easier for the crooks to personalize these scams and make it feel very, very real.
Right.
Yeah.
So with that being said, surely, in as much as the scams are sophisticated, there are different types of them that we need to be aware of. What are they?
So, I mean, you get the sort of one that probably we're getting a little bit more used to, which is your email scam. And you and I were talking about the post office, or a parcel is ready to collect, but you've got to pay duties. And then they click and they ask for your credit card details, or some way that they're trying to get you to input your credit card details, or they're trying to get you to engage through a link. Maybe the link's malware. But the one that's really been getting people recently is this increase in ones that claim to be from your bank. And this is where the personal information is very worrying. They will literally phone you and they'll say, hi, I'm phoning from, and it'll give the name of your bank, and they'll say, there's a big, did you do a transaction in Durban for this amount?
Right.
And you'll say, no. And you'll say, oh, there's fraud on your account. We need to reverse the transaction. You're about to get an OTP, send it to us, we'll reverse the transaction. And they have access straight away into your bank account. You've given them the OTP and they clear you out. I know so many people, and they work on fear, right? You're panicking. A fraud's happening on your account. So you're fearful, you shut down, you stop thinking, you panic, you give the information.
Yeah, because you just want to solve the problem.
Exactly. In fact, I'm seeing now, even on my banking app, the first thing the bank is saying to us is, we will never ask you for your PIN or your OTP or anything when we phone you. And of course, the safest thing, if you're in that situation, say, thank you, I will call you back. Put the phone down, look up the telephone number of the fraud department, and phone them yourself.
Maya, what should we do? We need to protect ourselves even better.
We have to. And the thing is that, you say, what are the authorities doing? There's very little they can do. I mean, once you have handed over your information, you are the weakest link. There's not much they can do about it. Right. And I think that's the key. Is I'm now completely neurotic. Now, if I receive an email that has a link in it, I will contact that person and say, did you send that email, before I click on it?
Yes.
And I think we need to get that hysterical, I think, to be perfectly honest.
I agree. And you know what? You're right, because you just remind me of, I don't know how many times you perhaps hear some of your social media, friends or followers saying, oh, I got hacked, so I just, changed to another account. But there isn't so much of a worry about personal information being leaked somewhere. It's so much of, my account with 50,000 followers was hacked, so I had to start over. Sorry, guys, follow me on the new account. But have you done something to investigate who has your personal information? Because I think that's the root problem. That's the bigger problem than just simply opening a new social media account. And
also, just by the way, that social media, I'm continuously having fake accounts opened to profile and look like me. And all I can tell you is, if you're wondering, I definitely have more than 200 followers. But they are identical. It looks identical. And the long game there is that this fake account will start to DM you. You think it's me offering you crypto investments. That's what I've discovered. So please, promise you, if you get a DM from me offering you crypto investments, it's a fake.
It's not you.
So this is also what's scary, is they're using the profile of social media people, influencers and that, to also, scam people. So you have to be so vigilant.
So just to be clear, then, what's your official social media account? Now that
it's My Arm Money, but they are literally duplicating it. So they're saying My Arm Money, and then there's a slight underscore question mark or something, so it looks so similar. They use exactly the same photograph of mine, everything. The only thing is, and that's how my followers have picked it up, is that it shows maybe 200 followers, and I've obviously got a lot more than that. So it's actually, that's for me, even when I looked at it, that was the only thing that kind of triggered for me that it wasn't real.
Right.
So very, very careful. And I'm not the only one that's happening
Oh,
to.
no. There's so many other
yeah.
people. While we're on that topic about personal information, even if perhaps you haven't received a scam email or you haven't received an SMS that's suspicious, can you go anyway just to check if everything is still in order? If you're not, written in somebody else's name, but your ID numbers are similar, if you're not married off, if you're not, an account holder of a certain retail store that you didn't sign up for, is there any way that you can just do a background check on your personal information?
Absolutely. You're checking your credit record, ironically, which is where a lot of the data was breached, but going in and checking your credit record, because that will show you all accounts opened in your name, and you'll see if you've been a victim of ID fraud.
Yeah.
Also, there is the South African Fraud Prevention Services, and they have a service that if you think you've been compromised, like your account's been hacked, you can register. It's called fraud prevention, and you can register with them, and they will put an alert on all of your accounts and to all credit suppliers.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming in personally in studio to talk about this. My Fisher French, thank you so much for your time this morning. So make sure that you do get your personal information checked out. Make sure you check with your bank or whoever, you want to verify information with. If you receive any, emails or suspicious text messages, just to be sure if indeed it's them trying to communicate with you. But on that note,